Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing out there in the internet world? How is life treating you? I hope you're doing something that is bringing you some peace, love, joy, and happiness. Hey, look, this is March 1st, 2026. My name is Mark. As always, thank you for stopping by. For the ones that has subscribed, I thank you. I appreciate you. Um, what I want to talk about in this video is life happens. That can go, life is happening. Uh, I've heard this phrase, I like it, life be lifing. When sometimes I ask people how they're doing, and a couple of them say life be lifing. I want to start out by reading this quote that sort of resonated with me. And it says, life has kicked me down a few times. It showed me things I never wanted to see. I experienced sadness and failures, but one thing for sure, I always got up. Now, you can add whatever you want to that fits your situation, whatever feelings, emotions that you have dealt with or that you are dealing with. And just know that it's okay not to be okay in the moment. Just don't go there to live. And it's okay to be okay. Now, there's a song I Googled who it was by. Three or four different names came up because there was original, then a rewrite, and all of that good stuff. So I'm not going to call any names here. But the song says, everybody plays the fool sometimes. There's no exception to the rules. I'm going to change that and say, life is coming for you. There's no exception to the rules. If it hasn't already, brace yourself. Now, I'm not talking about when life disappoints you, you get your feelings hurt. No, no, that can be a teachable moment. That can be something that you can learn from. But I'm talking about when life comes at you and kicks your ass. I hope you hold on to your faith. When life really kicked me in the seat of my pants, I'm so thankful that I hung on to my faith. Now, I don't follow any particular religion, but there's a lot of distance between 1965 and 2026. So there's a lot of years in there. There's a lot of days. There's a lot of people that I've encountered, a lot of conversations. Like I said, I've been disappointed, feelings hurt. But no, I'm talking about when life kicks you and you feel that pain in your chest. That is a darkness. That is your valley moment. But in that moment in time, when you're going through it, you're going to realize who was or who is your real friends. Now, there's a lot to be learned in there. It has taught me now to live every day with gratitude and to be grateful. I still have a spiritual practice. Now, I don't do those long, drawn out prayers. When I wake up, I say thank you. Whether I'm thanking God, the universe, the creator, higher power. I can wake up in the midst of the night to go to the restroom. When I open my eyes, I say thank you because that moment and the moment right now that I'm talking to you is a gift. Life can change in a blink. Boom. And everything that you thought you knew, all the securities that you thought you had, is gone. So that's the reason I'm saying I hope you do have some type of spiritual practice, whatever that may be. Now, there's a parable that said, there were 10 men that were healed, and only one came back to say thank you. The other nine went on about their business. I want to be that one that comes back to say thank you. Now, this will be the first time I ask for your comments in the comment section of if you have encountered. I'm talking about that black dark time in your life that you felt that pain in your chest, such disappointment, such hurt that you had to look to and depend on your faith. What did you learn from that experience? Because my experience taught me so much. My experience let me know that when it comes to people, now I'm telling my story. You've got your story to tell. You've got your story to share. But I had built my foundation when it comes to people, not my faith. Because if I didn't have a spiritual practice, I would have lost my friggin' mind, if not my life. I had built my hope, trusting in people that in my worst time, they would come to my rescue to help. Now, whether it was people that I called friends or whether it was a family member, the ones that did come, they got paid very well. So that has taught me, yes, love has a price. And if you don't have it, so that there's another, I don't know if it's a movie, Can't Buy Me Love. Oh, yes, you can. You can buy love. But when that money's gone, the love is gone. So that's that temporary love. But I didn't have those genuine people that I thought loved me unconditional. That's the reason I said in the other video, I don't believe in unconditional love. Not when it comes pertaining to humans. But when you're in that dark place, whatever your spiritual practice is, you can go back and reflect. And even before it happened, you already knew the people that was around you. You just didn't think that they would do it to you. So whatever your spiritual practice is, you already had all of those little pebbles thrown at you. You had those little hints thrown at you. Yeah, they show up every now and then in those small moments. But when that crisis hits, I'm one that believes that life happens for me and not to me. And when I say it happened for me, oh, was it an awakening? Yes, I am part of that woke, because depending on the definition of woke, I look at it as a positive thing, because I had to become aware. Now, as Dr. Maya Angelou says, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. So I knew, I just didn't want to accept it. So now in that dark time, and I didn't know what tomorrow was going to hold. And as Services for the Blind was preparing to send me to learn Braille, mentally, I was just in a place, because at this time I had became aware that I did not build friendships on a sure thing. They had never really been tested. And I'm not one that's just going to make up shit to see how you're going to react or if you're going to come. I'm not that guy that's going to call wolf. No. In the few times that I have asked for help, I needed it. But in that dark place, it's going to teach you, if you're open to learning and accepting, you start realizing, wait a minute, when did I get the phone call? Why did I get the phone call? Why am I the one that they kept calling when they was broke down on the side of the road? Why am I the one that they're calling when they're behind on a bill? Because I'm the one that made their emergency my emergency. But they didn't make my emergency theirs. So now I'm at a crossroad. I've got to make a decision. So I made the decision now that I'm going to handle this. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I handled it the right way. No, I handled it the way I felt. And as I talk to you now, I don't regret it because I was honest. So my dark place, my valley experience taught me that the God that I was worshiping and still do is real because he was able to sustain me. And I don't think he gets tied up in names because sometimes I'll say universe. What I done today to enjoy myself, I went to the park, walked for like an hour and a half. I listened to a speaker and it was encouraging to me. Uh, then I swapped over and I listened to some music. Then I took uh, the earbuds out and then I took another lap and I just wanted to connect with the universe. I wanted to connect with nature and give the universe time to connect with me and to listen. Stop, look, listen, learn. So, life doesn't care. It's coming for you. Life don't care what your job title is. Life doesn't care what your education level is. Life don't care your race. Life don't care how many books you've written. Life don't care. Life don't care. It's coming for you. Now, I wish I could be more encouraging. Sometimes it's earlier. Sometimes, just like me, I was in my 40s before it really hit. Now, I had experienced being sad. I've experienced failure. Or was it a failure? On your end, is it a failure? Or did you just learn a way that did not work? I've experienced other emotions, love, being in love, as you probably have. But I tell you what, that I don't want to experience anymore, and that's being broke. Now, it's been many years, but I've been broke. I'm one that has went to the refrigerator, and there be nothing there. Now, that's been a long time ago, but I remember that. I don't ever want to be in that situation again. And not even seeing. See, that's what I'm saying. The universe, God, creator, ever how you want to say it. Even then, I'm like, okay, who am I going to call to help pay this bill? Because the people that I had dealt with, shit, their ass was broke. So then I fast forward as I started changing my thinking and started unlearning. And one of the speakers that I was listening to, which really resonated with me, if 5 of your friends, and you can put any number on there that you want to, if 5 of your friends are broke, you're going to be number 6. But see, even though it was after the fact that my vision had gotten stable, uh, at that time, finances. Now, if I was broke at that time and thinking about the money, now I'm talking about family, I'm talking about people that I call friends. Sometimes even a stranger would step in to help. They got paid very well. What would have happened if I was in the situation I just told you years ago? People has got to hit that wall, and it's got to happen to them. And I'm here to tell you, whether it's your friends, whether it's your family, when it hits, there's really nothing you can do. But it's like I told one of the people when they told me, Mark, I didn't know what to say because they wanted to visit. They didn't know what to say. My question was, did you show up? I'm going to put it in the description because there's another quote, and it talks about when I was in the darkness. I didn't need you to fix me, but did you come to be part of the light to brighten that dark space? So that's the question. Now, that's the reason I asked you in the comments, because this is the first time I've done that. Share what you learned from that moment in your life. And if you haven't experienced that yet, brace yourself. You may make it to 70. You may make it to 80. But it's coming. And I hope that you have got a spiritual practice that you can stand on. because I was one of those, believe it or not, I was young at one time. I told you, there's a lot of time between 1965 and March 1st, 2026. So I had a lot to go back and look at. Now, now, when it comes to family, I deal with my family totally different than I deal with a stranger. I show a stranger more grace and mercy than I do my family. I put up with more bullshit from a side thing than I do my family. So, but I have my reasons. Part of it is because I learned a whole lot in that dark place. Now I've learned to stop, look, listen, and learn. And it's up to you to how long you want to stay there because you can come out. But, and when I talk about who are you going to call on, I'm not saying this because mine happened to be vision that came from shingles and not the blisters, but the virus got in my eyes. But what about the people? And it may have been you that when you're sitting at the doctor and they come back with a diagnosis of cancer, I want your faith to kick in. Have that spiritual practice. My thing that tried to keep me on my journey now of somewhat staying healthy is I went to the doctor one time, A1C had shot up. She said, you need to lose some weight. Lost some weight, the A1C went down. So my thing is because if a person becomes a diabetic, that can create many, many problems. And one of them is blindness. So now I messed around during the holidays. This is my fault. Taking responsibility. I had fun eating during the holidays. So now with that said, I did put some weight back on. Now, is that your fault? That's what happens in that dark place. It also taught me, see, I was taking on a lot of responsibility that wasn't mine. So my weight gain, no more was that my responsibility than my weight gain is yours. I chose to enjoy those potato chips. I enjoyed that key lime pie. So now why should you pay the price? That's the reason now, and I'm somewhat going to end it on this one, because I am thankful now. I wasn't at the time. I don't want to go back and repeat it. That the people that I dealt with, a lot of messy people. There was one lady, she would call. I mean, we talked for, I'm not talking about a week, years, sometimes every day. Learn that it's never good to talk to someone unless it's your spouse, your children, every day. But I know more than say hello. And she'd say, how you doing? She wouldn't give me a chance to say, okay, I'm having a bad day. No, she would go right into bullshit. And I would listen. Thought that I was building something because I saw how she ran for other people. I was smart enough, wise enough to know that that didn't mean that she was going to do the same thing for me. But I got a lot of excuses. But at that time, be careful as well that when you're in the dark place, maybe be silent. Because now, I told you now, in silence, I didn't share a whole lot of my emotions with people other than my doctors, because those are the ones that could help me. It was after the fact, once I somewhat learned my lesson. Now, I'm still working on a lot of stuff, but learn to be honest. The first person that you need to show the grace to is yourself. Now, I'd say this, I'm going to leave a couple more of my favorite quotes in the description. But show yourself grace and mercy first. Because then people talk about the forgiveness. If that's your language, then forgive yourself first. And if you don't do it, I'm encouraging you to start to journal. Because when I started to journal, there again, it was such an enlightening, enriching, enrichment, uh, eye opener. No punt to myself, on me to myself. But when I started to write, and I realized, even when I talked about the experiences that I had in church and the family, and I tried to put God, the creator, the universe, on human level. And I just like, dang, because now I realize what I'd been doing all of these years. So that's one of the things as I started to journal. Another thing that valley experience taught me. So every day I live with gratitude. I don't care if I drive out to the grocery store. When I've safely entered that parking space, I say thank you. When I get back home and I'm in my parking space, I say thank you. So that's how I show gratitude. So, if someone is giving you their time, say thank you. If someone is listening to you, say thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I have talked to people at the park, and I just ramble on and on and on. And I tell them, I am so sorry. Um, I was thirsty for conversation, that for something that I had in common with people. That happened yesterday. Two little old ladies was walking, had a good conversation about the park. They wanted to know if it was safe. I was able to share with them the number of times since 2016 that I've been out there walking, never encountered anyone getting attacked or anything like that. And was able to tell, because that was one of the things that they asked, if it was safe. My personal experience, yes. So, and had another conversation with a gentleman, found out, we like to read the same type of books, the Stephen King, some self-improvement books. And so we started sharing about the ones. That's the type of stuff. So sometimes just a stranger. And if you meet them in that environment, then you know you have something in common. So I've met a lot of people out there, and I was talking to one gentleman. He had on this straw hat, bib overalls, and I was telling him about the youth organization I used to have. Well, come to find out, he's an attorney. Well, he don't practice full time now, but he gave me the card, and he said, "Look, if you ever go back into it, if you need an attorney to help out with these youth, give me a call." So we never know who we're going to encounter. We never know who will come to our rescue in our time of need, but we can be grateful for the small things. See, I'm not hard to please. Uh, you know, um, Something I've done earlier this week that brought me some joy, and it's bringing me some happiness. I ordered me some new pillows, and it's helping me rest. I needed them. But I was like trying to make the ones I had work. Not because I couldn't afford it. It's like, shit, I can spend this money on something else. But with that, if y'all looking for new pillows, I recommend no particular brand name, but the shredded memory foam. And get the adjustable ones so that if you need to add foam to it, you can. If you need to take them out, you can, but you can adjust it to your need. And I did order mine from Amazon. With that said, look, life is coming, and life can change in a moment in time. You think everything is fine, boom, it changes. So again, leave me a comment on that. And I'm not talking about your feelings being hurt. I'm talking about you in that dark moment in time, and you know that there has to be a God somewhere. Till next time, my name is Mark. I love you. I appreciate you. And I'm wishing you peace, love, joy, and happiness.